This is Ryogoku, Tokyo's sumo district, and today is match day.
Sumo is a centuries-old sport tied to Japan's Shinto religion. It's at the heart of Japanese culture, with ritual and tradition as important as the combat itself. They're throwing the salt. That ring is basically considered to be sacred, and by throwing the salt, they're purifying it. The lucrative sport is growing in popularity, especially among the younger generation. But with the wrestlers also growing in size, younger sumos alleging abuse, and head injury emerging as a major issue. Is the safety of these revered athletes being ignored? I'm in Japan to find out what really goes on in the secretive world of sumo wrestling. In Japan, sumo wrestlers are considered gods. And it's in sumo schools like this that those gods are made. These boys aren't dreaming about becoming the next Messi or Ronaldo. Their dream is to become a professional sumo wrestler. Among these wrestlers is a rising star. Now 12 years old, Kyuta Kumugai won the Under-10s national championship 2 years ago. He trains 1 to 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, all around his schooling. How are you feeling? Watching from the sidelines is his father Tai. He first put Kyuta in the ring aged 4. What did he do to make you think that he wants to pursue sumo?
続けたいとは言ってないけど、褒めてあげたら喜んでた。
The rules are simple. Push your opponent out of the ring or force them onto the ground. He might be tired, but Kyuta easily beats everyone in his age group. After the training, Kyuta tells me his dream is to become a Yokozuna, the highest rank in sumo. But first, he has to impress the scouts for the professional leagues.
今年ある全国大会が3回あるんですけど、それを全て優勝するのが夢なんで。
The first of those matches is in a week's time, and there is a lot more prep to be done. He's trained for over 6 hours so that he can barely stand. He's so tired, and he's going to come back and do it all over again tomorrow. Aspiring wrestlers have to get recruited by a sumo stable. Wrestlers eat, sleep, and train in these stables 24/7. They're financed by the National Sumo Association, but only those in the top 2 leagues get paid. That's less than 10% of professional wrestlers. We asked to film inside some of these stables, but they all said no. Wow, the wrestlers training. So I've come to check them out from the outside instead. I wasn't expecting to see them outside of their stable. The rules inside are strict, with privileges dependent on your rank. Junior sumos can't have girlfriends or phones. There are currently 42 sumo stables in operation, and these guys belong to this particular stable. Once they're recruited, they basically have to stay in that particular stable for the rest of their career. It's not like with football where you can go from one team to another. I hear them training and try to get closer. But I'm quickly asked to move along. You shouldn't film. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay. We've been asked to leave. The association is very protective about what is shown of the life inside of these stables. They say they're cautious because of COVID, but this is a world shrouded in secrecy.
The strict rules of the sumo world may have meant that we couldn't get inside one of the stables, but there are some ex-wrestlers who are willing to expose what goes on inside, and I'm about to meet one of them here.
24-year-old Kantetsu retired last year after 7 years of wrestling.
What's it like living in your own home?
やっぱり一人暮らしはやっぱり楽しい反面ちょっと寂しいもあります。もうやられるの。
Kantetsu didn't want to retire, but felt he had no choice. He has a heart condition that makes him more vulnerable to COVID. During the pandemic, he asked for permission to isolate rather than compete in a tournament.
で協会から返ってきた言葉がダメだと。休場は許さないって言われて。
He shows me the moment he first suffered heart failure 6 years ago.
もう今死んでもおかしくないからすぐ手術をしなさいって言われて。
Kantetsu thinks he developed his heart condition because he was only getting 1 hour sleep per day. As a junior wrestler, he had to complete chores for higher-ranking sumos alongside his own training.
こう言っちゃ悪いですけど、もう刑務所にいる方が楽じゃないのかなっていうふうには思ってました。
And that wasn't the only way younger wrestlers suffered. He shows me the meat they had to eat.
2012年ってなってて、この写真を撮影したのが、2017年ってなってる写真とか。
Kantetsu says he regularly got food poisoning, but refusing the food wasn't an option.
そうですね。やっぱり規則を破ると、先ほどの話であった通り罰じゃないけれども、その稽古場でボコボコにされたりとか。
How regularly, how often did you used to get punished?
ほぼ毎日の人もいれば、僕みたいに何ヶ月に1回とか、多い月だったら1週間丸々だったりとか。
He may not have planned to quit, but Kantetsu is now enjoying life on the outside.
Oh, 滝川。久々。
Sahar, nice to meet you.
And he's not the only one. He knows 15 other wrestlers who quit in the last 2 years.
This one. Very expensive.
Oh my god.
Tonight, he's shopping for action heroes with another retired wrestler called Takigawa.
How does it feel to be able to freely walk around, meet when you want, and do things that you want to do, like this?
解放みたいな、解放されたなみたいなのもちょっとあります。
We put Kantetsu's allegations to the Sumo Association, but they didn't respond. However, they've previously said they'd bring in harsher punishments for bullies. Kyuta is still hoping to get recruited by one of these stables when he hits 16.
What do you know about life inside of a stable?
全くありません。
Today, he's working on his fitness. And his father, Tai, is the coach.
Kyuta, what's it like training with your dad?
あんま好きじゃない。やっぱきついから。
How do you make him keep going when it gets tough, when he wants to give up?
だから iPhone 13 Pro みたいなものがいっぱいもらえるでしょ。
So if he says, I don't want to do it, how do you make him keep going?
それは殴ります。
You'll punch him?
Yeah,
Really?
sure. That's the small way.
いいさん、いいし。
After training, Kyuta and Tai invite me to dinner.
Oh, wow.
They've ordered enough meat for 12 people, and they do this every day.
体を大きくした方が有利に戦えるから。
Obesity in children can lead to diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. Tai says he avoids this by feeding Kyuta a balanced diet.
太れっていうのはもう時代遅れなんですよ。大きくなれって。大きくなる。
I asked to check Kyuta's BMI.
So he's 159 centimeters and 95 kg.
The results are worrying.
They are very overweight. Why'd you laugh?
大きくするようにやってるから、オーバーウェイトはしょうがない。もうだからそこはもうギャンブルだから。糖尿病になっても終わりだし。
There are no weight categories in sumo, so being heavy is an advantage. But studies show wrestlers die 15 to 20 years younger than the average Japanese male, often as a result of health complications related to their weight.
How much money would you say you spent on his food?
Not more than $100
Per day?
per day. $100.
You spend $100 a day.
One time. One meal.
That's a lot of money. Why is that so important?
It's my investment. It's my investment.
What do you mean?
私も彼と同じ頃相撲をやっていました。だけど彼にはそれを突破できる才能があるからと私は信じているから彼にインベストメントします。
Are you doing this more as a parent or more for you as somebody who wanted to become a big sumo wrestler and never made it?
Half and half.
Half and half.
彼も夢として相撲レスラーになりたいっていうことを言い出してるから。
Why is that dream so important to you?
どうせやるなら。
どうせやるなら、まあ一番がいい。
I mean, your dad just told you to say that. Why do you want to get to that rank? Is it because your dad wants you to?
まあどうせやるなら、なんだろう、大関とか中途半端じゃなくて、一番上の横綱がいい。
Kyuta and his dad have just gone home, and one thing that really stood out to me from that conversation is that his dad seemed more keen than Kyuta for his son to become a high-ranking sumo wrestler. And that's concerning because long-term, it's Kyuta himself who may have to pay the price, especially when it comes to his health.
3 sumos under the age of 40 are known to have died in 2021 alone. One of them was 28-year-old Hibikiryu, who died of acute respiratory failure a month after being dropped on his head. There are no ringside medics in sumo, so he lay unattended for more than 5 minutes until an ambulance showed up. His death caused a huge controversy, and I've come to his hometown of Shimonoseki to find out why.
いいんじゃない？ついたね。
But our presence seems to be causing concern. Hibikiryu's best friend Kamei says he just received a call from the Sumo Association questioning him about our film. They're responsible for safety protocols and were criticized heavily following the incident. Their call hasn't stopped Kamei from speaking to us.
今後そういう同じようなことを生まないように
Kamei reads me a message that Hibikiryu's mother has written.
くださりありがとうございます。
She says she's grateful that we're covering this story. What part of her son's story do you think she's keen to get exposed?
今から先やっぱり相撲界に入ってくる人たちがより安全にやっぱり競技に取り組めるような
The hospital that treated him declined our interview request. But Kamei says he knows someone who can shed light on the incident.
Kamei is taking me to Hibikiryu's old sumo coach, who's going to tell me what caused his death.
Halfway through our journey, our producer gets a call.
He doesn't want to have an interview.
He doesn't want to talk to us anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And then he said he cannot talk about related small industry.
Then Kamei gets a call from Hibikiryu's mother saying she's just been told not to discuss her son's death.
違う主催とかじゃないかわかんないですけどね。
それをノーっていう必要も向こうも本来ないわけです。
We were on our way to meet Hibikiryu's coach who was going to tell us about how he died and how the system basically failed the wrestler, but we got a call from him suddenly saying, nope, don't come, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And things are just snowballing.
We head back to Shimonoseki.
With Hirokiyo's death, it seems like this is as far as we're gonna get. Kamiya has said that he doesn't want to continue filming with us anymore. His main concern is Hirokiyo's mom.
I want to find out how common head injuries are in sumo, so I arranged to meet up with retired wrestlers Kantetsu and Takigawa. They're still enjoying their newfound freedom, this time at karaoke. After a few songs, they show me a video of their daily training at the stable. Two sumos clash skulls at the start of each bout.
You hear it. You hear your heads banging. How many times would you say you do that every day?
多い時では100回とか50回100回。そうですね、最初の頃はすごく痛いですけど、慣れてくると痛みよりかはこう意識がパッて一瞬飛ぶみたいな感覚にはなりましたね。
The effects of this are no secret. Last year, sumo wrestler Shuna Naomi was concussed after clashing skulls in a tournament. He fought on with no intervention from the referee. Kantetsu and Takigawa say they were terrified of these skull-on-skull collisions. To mentally prepare, they were made to smack their heads against the wooden pillar up to 200 times a day.
他はその後遺症の可能性があって、顔面麻痺がこの右側が麻痺になっちゃって、ちょうど2年前ぐらいに。で、顔が一時的に右側がもう一切動かないっていう状況になりました。
Have you ever received any sort of support, financial, especially with you seeking treatment?
アフターケアみたいなのはないと思います。
こんにちは。
こんにちは。元気です。
How are you?
久しぶり。How are you? I fine, thank you.
Ah, all right. Well.
A few days later, I go with Takigawa to an MRI scan.
What are you hoping the outcome would be?
それがすごいもう治らないとか、その大きな何かにつながってしまうことでないことは祈ってます。
Recent studies have shown that athletes from contact sports are 68 times more likely to develop brain diseases like dementia.
Takigawa has gone to have his MRI done, and his worries about what the results might reveal are totally understandable. I mean, unlike the way governing bodies from sports like football and rugby have responded to the evidence of brain injury, sumo authorities seem to be years behind.
An hour later, we get a call. The results are in. It's good news. Takigawa doesn't have any brain injury, but there is trauma to his neck.
座布団みたいになってクッションになってるところなんだけど、やはりそこの高さが随分こう少なくなる。
The deformity could be affecting his spinal cord and nerve signals.
これをね、黙って落っことすので、掴んでもらっていいですかね。いいですか？
Dr. Nakayama says there's been little research into the effects of head injury in sumo. But Takigawa's symptoms are common among retired wrestlers.
めまい、ふらつき、 物忘れ、まあ手足の力が入りにくいとか、そういったところじゃないですかね。
Dr. Nakayama is working with the Sumo Association to make the sport safer. If a sumo gets concussed in a tournament, they must now forfeit their match rather than fight on. But they are yet to adopt Dr. Nakayama's preventative measures, like limiting impact to the head in training. How receptive has the Sumo Association been to your suggestions?
積極的に変えていきたい人たちと、そうではない人たち。
The Sumo Association has previously said they regularly check their wrestlers' health, but they didn't respond to our specific questions about head injuries. Despite the risks, tens of thousands of children still practice sumo in Japan. And today is competition day.
This is where the big junior tournament is being held. All that hard work and preparation for these kids and Kyuta essentially comes down to this. How are you feeling?
ちょっと緊張してます。今日優勝したら次全国大会へ進めるので、そこで勝って三冠取りたいです。
Stable masters scout for the next champion at these tournaments. So there is a lot at stake for these kids. Kyuta's age group is up.
Barely took a second.
Kyuta easily wins his first two fights to reach the semi-finals.
Their heads, but like I can hear it all the way from here, their heads banging.
He wins and goes straight onto the final. It's a close match. But Kyuta is on his way to the national championships.
How did it go?
いい相撲取れたかなと思います。
What's happened to your head? Did you get that from earlier, from wrestling earlier?
ないです。
Can I ask him? How are you feeling?
Fine.
Yeah?
I'm fine. だけど今日やってみて反省点もいくつか僕の頭の中にあるから。
Kyuta and his dad are both a step closer to their dream of him becoming a sumo champion. But unless the sport makes some big changes, it could be a dangerous journey ahead.